Roberge de Halifax reporting par le numéro 55, Halifax Mooseheads for number 55, Brandon and Rouyn. And the player is number 41, assisted by number 41, Jules-Edy and Cataractes. And the player is number 49, also assisted by number 2, Acadie-Bathurst. Roberge de Halifax reporting par le numéro 41, Halifax Mooseheads for number 41, Jules-Edy and Cataractes. And the player is number 56, assisted by number 55, Brandon and Rouyn. Breton going down with the competition, the company goal 337.
folks at home will get a chance to see the Rock in an interview taped earlier today. He was quite excited, not only about winning the speed competition, and how about Ryan Flynn right there on the doorstep. Donnell is upset, and Greeno is having a battle after the goal is scored.
It's pretty rare that you see that. Greeno goes at it with McCutcheon, I believe, Brad. Not too often you see a goal and then a fight immediately after. Greeno getting into the crease and getting into the hair of Donnell. He and McCutcheon go to the ice. Nice goal by Ryan Flynn. They win the fight and they get on the scoreboard first.
Well, Donnell didn't like it. He felt Greeno or somebody were interfering with the goaltender. He immediately went.
Indeed, it was Lou getting 2 minutes for roughing. Jarrett will just go over and serve the final 1.3 seconds to the penalty. Of course, you have to have someone in there. Jarrett not getting a whole lot of ice time tonight, but I think he played well when he was out there. Here's
we got a fight. Gary Zink, double team. We're going to have a big fight now.
Oh, it's going to break loose.
Everybody's getting into it.
Yeah, Zink tried to square off with one of his Chicoutimi players, and he had Carrer jump on his back. So bad sportsmanship there by Guillaume Carrer. Zink wants a piece of him.
Gerard trying to get everybody else to skate off. We've got another fight, though, as Rob Sutherland seems to be going. He's got the jersey off one player and is tied up with Carpentier.
The Saguenay have an extra player on the ice, of course. 2 extra because they pulled their goaltender and they have a power play. So looks like things are going to calm down now, though.
Tough night for Chicoutimi. They did win in Cape Breton last night, but they were unable to beat the hometown Halifax Mooseheads in tonight's hockey contest. shot. A bit, twisted around, may have injured the knee. He is grabbing the knee, an awkward twist as he went down. And we've got a battle in behind the boards.
Martin Beauchesne and Ryan Flynn.
Flynn can throw, but so can the smaller Beauchesne. We've got a heavyweight battle. Two are locked up. The line shooter in. I don't know if they're asking the boys if they've had enough. I don't think Ryan has. Let's see how they sell it to the crowd. I think both of these fighters want to take some credit for a victory. Neither will celebrate. And there's the Martin Messier-like haircut of Ryan Flynn as he sits down. Boy, he's a big fella.
Ramsey Abid taking a bump near the slot there, but take a look at it right here. Number 22, Francois Belanger, takes a piece of him right there, knocks the feet out from underneath him. Dangerous, but now we'll look into the corner. We'll watch the play go in there. And number 5, Martin Beauchesne, and Flynn going at it. Beauchesne, 5'11", Flynn at about 6'4", and throwing some good ones, Beauchesne. He's got eventually the helmet pops off Beauchesne, but Flynn with his hands full there. A good effort by the smaller Beauchesne, but Ryan's so tough to beat.
Beauchesne, believe it or not, the heaviest player on their team, 206. And second, Eric Dagenet is slightly bigger.
Yeah, not
as far as wins going. Beausoleil. Oh, and that was offside. Late shot. They're protecting their goalie, Morency, in tight. And now Abid wants to go with the player who shot that puck. Here goes Abid. He punches once. He's in twice. And we're going to go. Here we go. Ramsey Abid. Oh, a knockout blow there. Beauchesne fought earlier. Boy, that's the shot. And Ramsey Abid stunned him earlier, and now they're both getting into it. Ramsey Abid just continuing to fire punches. LaChance a couple there. Ramsey Abid. He'll get a big cheer here as he'll shake around and put on the heavyweight belt.
Well, it's almost like the game needed something like that to get a bit of excitement back into it. Brian LaChance and Ramsey Abid getting locked up outside the blue line. We saw a skirmish between Leclerc and Morency in front of the net. Now you're wondering if they're going to fight there, LaChance and Abid, but eventually they do lock up outside of the blue line. And you didn't think they were going to fight there for a while, but finally Abid said, that's enough. Let's drop the gloves and get at it. And here they do.
Here's a start.
Yeah, Abid first with the gloves off, and he delivered a few good straight right hands to LaChance. LaChance going to the left hand eventually. And it ended up being a wrestling match in the end. But LaChance, 106 penalty minutes on the season, so he's no stranger to the rough stuff.
Now watch, the helmet comes off, and it's going to be one good blow. Knocks LaChance around. That's probably the only strong one that really stunned him.
I was impressed by the strength of Abid. After this tiring fight, he'll put his head down and shove him into the boards right here. Some good power by Ramsey. And that fight lasted a little while. No major damage done, but the fans certainly appreciating it.
Well, it is Saturday night, isn't it?
And it's all right for fighting, as we know. So Abid does get his sweater pulled up over his head, but that's when the linesman step in, so no damage done there.
Moncton ahead of the Mooseheads in league standings. They're 5th overall. The Mooseheads 6th, but with game at hand. A couple of games, actually. Nice passing there at the side. Leclerc reading the play, though. Simon Laliberte, who has had many good chances in this game, stopped yet again. DeRoche in tight. And look at that. 1-2 defenseman. DePenta and Jelena. Jelena may have to go. Third man in from Moncton. And let's see if the referee picked up on that.
That's Simon Laliberte he squared off with.
Jelena gets one fired. He's going for the uppercut. Now the helmet's off. Brilliant fighting by Jasmine Jelena, the veteran, against Laliberte. Threw an uppercut to catch him off guard and then pulled the helmet off. Now a couple more shots. Oh, a tough goal there. And I'm telling you, Laliberte doesn't have a lot left. And the linesmen jump in to bail him out. Laliberte, a TKO. for Jelena.
A couple of the smaller fighters that you'll ever see square off here at the Metro Center, but a couple of good veteran moves by Jasmine Jelena. First pulling the helmet off Simon Lalaberty, and then grabbing the jersey down low and yanking it up over his head. All he could do, Jasmine, was get the left hand going, but he was in there close. Lalaberty was poking around where Jelena thought he shouldn't, and took exception to that, so those two get into it. It's got to be tough for Moncton. Lalaberty, obviously not a physical force, just 18 penalty minutes on the season. As we take a look at Moncton move the puck around, Lalaberty makes a good tip here, and a good save by Leclerc right there. I guess.
Lalaberty throwing the gloves first.
Yeah, he took a left hand. He
and
didn't
this
like
is
it
what
at
I
all.
don't like. Not third man in. You see Mirko Murovic coming over, but
watch the linesman grab Jelena by the. Well, I guess it just happened before that, but he grabbed him by the collar, tried to stop this from getting underway. Nothing really much developing. And Jelena, a little bit later on, will switch to the left hand because that's all he can get loose. And right there, yanking the helmet off. So good effort by Jasmine. He's a leader in this team, and he has to do that from time to time, and he will do what he has to. Doesn't wear, I guess, not a C, but is one of those guys that the Mooseheads really look forward to for leadership.
Real surprise in that replay to see that Lalaberty was the guy who threw the gloves off first. He was
Murovic with the
Murovic, yeah, that just missed that one in front. I was looking for Bartek, but I knew it wasn't him. At any rate, it's just been a night where Moncton have had a lot of bad bounces. Halifax have had a few good ones, but they've also had some deadly shots as well. We've got a battle in front. P.J. Lynch teeing up with number 44 on the other side. That's Carl McLean. Lynch with the helmet off, and so he pulls down. And, ooh, Lynch may have hit his head.
Lynch taking exception to a hit that McLean put on Robbie Sutherland in front of the goal, and I'm pretty sure that's why he dropped him. Good play by Lynch. You can't let your smaller players take hits. It was a clean check, but the two of them get wrapped up there, not really able to let any loose. PJ trying to get the right hand going, but McLean with a pretty good hold on him there, and they'll just wrestle around for a minute. Lynch is a pretty strong kid. We've seen him a couple of times this year kind of throw his opponent to the ice. He gets McLean off balance here, and the two go back, and it is dangerous for Lynch. He's lucky that his head didn't crack on that ice. As Major Junior Hockey League at the Memorial Cup, of course, Halifax will be there as the host team. They are going to trail this series 3-0 in about 55 seconds. Another play by Poirier. You had a feeling this was going to happen. Jarrett and Castonguay, who I don't think has been on the ice prior to this. This is Castonguay in the blue and Jarrett in the white.
Yeah, this is pure coach's decision here to get these guys out and let them go. Tell you what, Jarrett doesn't want to lose this fight. Down 3-0, he doesn't want his head handed to him on home ice, that's for sure.
Well, that should just about do it. 5-2 with 55 seconds to go. This one is over, so we are pulling out of Halifax. We're going to go to Arlington, Texas, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us. Let's go to Rod Black.
On that number 2 line, if you will, we'll see how he responds to having new line mates.
Yeah, very important for him to respond in that role. The Mooseheads are going to have 3 superstar lineups by the end of this year, so you better be able to carry your weight no matter where you play on this team, and I think Sheffer should get used to playing in that situation. So far tonight, he really hasn't impressed. We've got a little battle going on right now, though, as big Ryan Flynn is duking it out with Eric LaBelle, and it wasn't a very long duke. LaBelle would look to be shaken up here on that one. In fact, LaBelle is skating for his bench instead of the penalty box. He's so stunned.
Well, LaBelle's a willing combatant by all looks. He has 106 penalty minutes in just 16 games. Doesn't seem to want a piece of big Ryan Flynn there as Ryan dusting his hands off after the mini scrap, I guess you'd call it. Ryan in there helping out. See the head of LaBelle go down early. Ryan with such a reach advantage on him. Not really much. LaBelle lucky didn't get his hand skated on there, but real turtle job by him.
Apparently he turtled in that play.
He wanted nothing to do with Ryan Flynn in that play as both the skaters going to the respective locker rooms. 2:46 to go in the first, and Ryan says, Not much to that as he dusts off the mitts. We'll keep an eye on that as we say. LaBelle lines here is Daryl Jarrett out to take Andre Sheffer's spot on this line with Benedict and King. Sheffer, of course, perhaps a bit winded after just having a couple of scoring opportunities there. But Coach Marc-André never afraid to mix the lines up. He's getting more set, of course, as the season goes on. The first few games, we were never sure what kind of line was going to come over the boards, but certainly a bit of continuity now as far as the lines go.
Little hook on Benedict, paying dividends for the Mets as he was allowed to get there to the puck. Cote now trying to get it out to Penta to keep it in, but we've got a little battle going on. Good hard shot by Jarrett on Chouinard. Chouinard without the helmet, and Jarrett doing quite well. Both helmets off now. We'll see how Jarrett does as both players are minus the headgear. And Chouinard a pretty good finish, but Jarrett was back up there, wanted a little bit more. Good effort from both combatants in that little battle.
Not a bad fight, Brad. Patrick Chouinard, not a big fighter, 9 penalty minutes in 5 games. Jarrett, always a willing combatant. Pretty good fight. Nothing too stinging there thrown. Nothing really connected really solidly. But we'll see what happens. You see the gloves and sticks are dropped already there. Chouinard lucky he didn't break an ankle stepping in that stick. Jarrett getting a few in early. There he had a good one in. Better ones than I thought originally. Jarrett with the helmet still on. Chouinard with a nice uppercut there. And as we thought a little earlier on, things might get a little more physical. But the two going at it. Jarrett, I like his style of play. He's never afraid to mix it up. Throws the body. Gets the elbows up high sometimes. And getting a few good licks in here.
Well, our compliments to Eastlink Community Television. That fight looked much better on the slow-mo replay, Dan.
Great shot there, yeah. Really nice. I think Jarrett took exception to another punch that Chouinard gives him just after that shot died there. But Jarrett still got up. Nothing really major as far as chances against him this period. But the youngster playing well between the pipes here Sunday afternoon.
Little fight right off the face-off. That is Gary Zink, the Cole Harbour native, blasting fists against number 27, Guillaume Baudouin. And Baudouin is down and out.
Gary Zink letting his presence be known here, Brad. He's going to go to the locker room. 20 seconds to go. He put a pretty good thumping on to young Guillaume Baudouin there. I'm not sure what instigated that, what started it. Zink really putting the hammer to him as he gives a couple of high fives on his way off the ice. Pressing the crowd there, ending up on top of Baudouin. The second fight, or really second and a half fight, I guess you could say. Flynn almost getting into one earlier today, but take a look at it here. A couple of solid rights by Zink. One to the back of the head. He hits him with an uppercut. Baudouin really not able to get loose, much because of Zink overpowering him to the ice there. I think he might have got one in late as Baudouin was on his back.
Milieu. Jarrett again. Little backhand intended for Sheffer long. And it comes back.
Curious play. Slager hog-tying Jarrett. The two are going to fight over by the Victoriaville.
Oh, 3-on-2 for a moment. Jarrett, though, breaking away finally against LaBelle. LaBelle now will challenge. Fans continuing to blame him for not fighting. Flynn earlier decided he would give Jarrett a go, but he got some help from Kovac, who is along there, and there was another player inside the Victoriaville bench who gave him a couple of shots.
Daryl Jarrett pointing to the scoreboard as if to say, take a look, boys, it's 6-2. There goes LaBelle. He's being thrown out at the other end, getting a real Bronx cheer as he leaves the game. But it was number 26, Slager, who really took some hacks there at Daryl Jarrett. LaBelle coming to his aid. Flynn not on the ice that time. LaBelle willing to fight number 23, Daryl Jarrett, who can throw them. But things getting a little hairy there by the Victoriaville bench. Things could have developed into something bad as we take a look at Eric LaBelle.
I think Kovac or Osgood got a couple of shots in as well. So tough start for Jarrett, but he handled himself well.
He did. He's a tough kid, and LaBelle being opportunistic there, as we say. For 26, he's been a thorn in the side of the Mooseheads. Slager, he scored a goal, but one of those smaller players who are known to use the stick and get under the skin of the rivals. We'll take a look at what happened here. Slager is going to the bench in the penalty. Look over by the box. Jarrett and Slager into it, and LaBelle's there to grab Jarrett. at the backside. He drops the gloves before Jarrett even knows he's there. Take a look at the goaltender from behind, Osga. Got the big glove there. And Jarrett, sort of surprised by Lavelle, I'm sure, who come up from behind. I think Jarrett stepping on a stick and going down, and Lavelle getting a right hand in there. But let's face it, Lavelle did come in from behind after Schlegel started it. Lavelle wanted to finish it. Sure, Jarrett would love to get another crack at him.
Number. There's Boone in the corner. He was checked into the boards by Levesque. Still tied up there. Oh, Boone has dropped the gloves. He wants to go, but I don't know if he's going to get a fight here. Boone and Hugo Levesque, and Boone is all over Levesque. The linesmen are in, and that's going to be all. Boone, I think you got to give the decision. Levesque didn't want to fight her.
Something that Hugo Levesque did really set Jonathan Boone off. Boy, he dropped those gloves and hammered Levesque with a good right hand before Levesque knew what was going on, I think.
Over the red line. 4 seconds left as P.J. Lynch gets a late bit of ice time. And that will do it. Oh, Ramsey Abid is going to have to fight in this period. Ryan Flynn is fighting him, and that should take him out for 10 minutes. And I don't like the way the linesman jumped in early here.
Well, Flynn's not finished.
Ramsey Abid has done something to explode this Moosehead team. And Ryan Flynn, who was a teammate last year, is right out there on him.
A bit of spontaneous combustion by big number 28 Flynn as he gets their hands to their feet. A big roar from the crowd. A bit annoyed him somehow, and he took the front. Pretty quickly, Flynn dropped those gloves and got the rights and lefts going. And a bit, all he could really do was cover up here at the end of the second. We'll hear it from the crowd as he skates out towards the end.
Well, you can see if it didn't want to take the gloves off, he knows he's a valuable player to the Bathurst T-Tap.
Interesting to see, excuse me, Brad, what happens to Flynn, what kind of a penalty he'll get there. He might be gone for the game.
I wouldn't be surprised if he is. That was at the end of the period.
You see it there, just sort of a dog pile, and coming out of it is Flynn with the right hand. Something really annoyed him, ticked him off, that Abid did. Flynn extending that big right hand. The linesman getting in there pretty quickly to break things up. Who knows what would have happened. And after that broke up, Flynn managed to get away from his linesman and went back at Abid, hitting him in the back of the head here, we'll see. Flynn not finished. He gets his big right hand going, and it delivers the right hand to the back of the head of Abid, as you see Abid turtling down on the ice, trying to look after himself, not wanting to get injured at the hands of big number 28. Another nice angle there. Brian Flynn with the two linesmen not wanting to let that go. And Flynn can't really get the arm extended as he'd like to. It should be an interesting third period. Mooseheads leading 3-0.
Well, I'd like to see the story that we probably won't get to hear on why that took place. I'm sure that Flynn will probably be gone for the game because he came back the second time right there. But eventually, Abid was forced to take the gloves off and wants a little more than the 2 minutes, so he's going to stay right there.
Boschman, here they go.
There they go. It's Boschman. He's a Montreal draft pick, and there he goes. Flynn and Boschman. Boschman gave him quite a slash before they dropped their gloves. Although Flynn gave him a little bit of a tap as well.
I think I just saw the right knee of Ryan Flynn come towards Boschman as he points at him. He wanted a piece of him bad, a slash, an elbow, anything he could do to draw the ire of Boschman, who finally did drop the gloves. Ryan Flynn, an upset camper right now. He's going to go to the dressing room, it appears.
Well, with only 7:20 left, they may send Boschman there as well. I know he probably only picked up 5 minutes, but Boschman certainly won't see much more of this hockey game, and
good shot of Ryan Flynn there, Brad, as he skates off the ice. Fans giving him a bit of a hand.
Oh, he is certainly backed by Benedict. Feeds it through the legs of Larac to make that Gerard. 3 seconds.
The fans love it here in Halifax as Lynch might square off. He's going to.
P.J. Lynch.
He's in with Trudell. He's a tough customer.
Up against Trudell. Let's see how Lynch fares. There goes Lynch. Lynch may have taken the first one. Now we're getting into some overhand questions.
The helicopter helicopter effect there, Brad. I think they got spinning around so fast.
There's not a lot of punches going, but I think Trudell landed a quick one. And yes, he did win the fight, but I don't think the fans appreciate him too much here.
He's saying his goodbyes here as Halifax shutting out Bathurst 5-0. An eventful game, Brad, to say the least.
I got to tell you, I'm baffled here. This Acadie-Bathurst team with their stars, it's just hard to believe. Last year they owned the Mooseheads, and tonight the Mooseheads own them. There's that helicopter wheeling cooling, putting some pressure on. Good crunching sound. We've got microphones along the boards to hear the action as well as see it. Benedict, nice pass in front. The shot stopped by St. Germain. Good hustle by the Halifax Mooseheads. Jarrett with a shot. Harriard giving St. Germain a little help on that shift, and we've got a little pile-up after the whistle.
A lot of toughness out there right now on both teams. Harriard, Trammell, Jarrett's out there. Flynn, Lahou. We could have a Donnybrook here before it's all over, Brad. That's Flynn lined up with his foe. Who is that?
I think that's Trammell.
Is that Trammell?
Number 30, Guy Trammell, and Flynn are going the hardest out there. The helmets are off, and both fighters are getting some shots in.
Fans enjoying that right there, getting a good look at it. Oh, he looks like he almost, I want to say, bit down on a finger there, but two really in tight along the glass. I'd like to see that again. I didn't see a disappearing digit there, but it looked like there was a bite down on the finger of Ryan Flynn. Some pretty close quarters there.
Yeah, I thought I saw that as well.
Maybe it was just more of a little love bite to get him to let go. I don't know. Flynn checking out his hand there. This is how it all ensues. A real crowd. Look at Jarrett with a great chance. And that was, I believe, St. Jacques slid across and made that save. And then all heck broke loose behind the net. About 6 tough guys in total out there. Trammell with well over, look, he grabs Flynn from behind there. He skated around from the other side. He wanted a piece of Ryan. He certainly got what he wanted. There's 4 people in there. And Flynn finally gets loose on him. The 2 players pretty much pinned up against the boards. Flynn firing the helmet off of Trammell. Gloves and sticks and helmets flying. Here's a good look at it. Who said hockey's an easy game? Flynn with a couple of rams into the turnbuckle there. So Flynn doing the job, Brad, you want to do, pulling the jersey up over the head of Trammell. Trammell not happy with it. Let's watch right here. Watch Trammell right here now. He's got the mouth open. And yeah, little finger sandwich for Trammell, so I don't think he clamped down too hard.
Rock, and now Zink in the corner, knocking it around for Hugo Lahou. Another one of the newest Mooseheads out there, wearing P.J. Lynch's old number. No icy. Oh, it shouldn't have been icing. It ran through the paint, although we may have an infraction out near center. I think we're going to have a little battle here. Two players.
I think that's Zink for Halifax, Brad.
And number 16, Tommy Bolduc.
Sorry, that is Lahou. Hugo Lahou.
Our newest Moosehead. Lahou going against Bolduc, and these 2 tie up early. Lahou's helmet off. See that dyed blonde hair underneath. Popular many of the young hockey players. Lots of the players in the Cole Harbor Minor Hockey Association dyeing their hair blonde like that. But Lahou giving it a roll, and he lands a nice one. Fans in Halifax certainly enjoying his effort.
Hugo Lahou making his presence felt here in his Metro Center debut. Bolduc pretty happy with himself, the hands in the air, and the crowd getting on him a little bit. But Hugo Lahou with Val-d'Or, 115 penalty minutes in 41 games. And Coach Mongrain says he fits in real nicely as the 6th defenseman. Strong guy, Bolduc, but I'd say Lahou got the best of his fight, Brad. Threw a couple of good punches later on. Pretty much a premeditated fight. Lahou was at about center ice and dropped the gloves, circled back in towards the blue line, and locked up with Bolduc. Tommy Bolduc, a lanky kid, strung up against the boards there, not able to really fire off any punches. But the Mooseheads that were criticized a little early on in the year, saying that perhaps the defense was a little softer than you'd want it to be. But they got tougher with this man, Lou, who throws a good right hand there, and that's all she wrote for that fight. Off to a pretty good start tonight, Brad. Lots of spirit, these two teams of the Mooseheads so far. Get a chance to look at it. Larac is involved. He can hit for his size. He's watching on. Take a look at that double crunch. Both Greeno and the other Moosehead forward arriving there at precisely the same time. And Greeno, I'll tell you, lots of players can be aggressive, but sometimes you have to have a knack for the open ice, the body check. Greeno appears to be one of those players who has that, and the Mooseheads can really use that for the rest of the season.
Well, it took a while to win that face-off, but Martineau, oh, we've got a fight right off the wheel. Greeno with his second fight of the game, so he'll be gone. And he is battling number 24, Sylvain Plamondon.
Plamondon getting mixed up with Ryan Flynn earlier, taking a penalty for hitting Flynn in the back of the head, getting his hands up.
Linesman in a little early there, but that would, I believe, be it for Greeno. That was the second fight of the game, was it not?
I believe so. Both players unable to really get loose, Brad. The scrap starting just off the draw as Greeno raises his hands and goes up the tunnel. So we've had a little bit of everything tonight. A short-handed goal, a couple of power play opportunities, a good save by Volkov, and Plamondon skates out at the other end. Plamondon mixed it up the last time he was here in Halifax as well. He's got 207 penalty minutes in 30 games, and he and Greeno having words right off the draw here. Greeno sort of being held down by the right hand of Plamondon in along the boards. The linesman trying to move the sticks out there. So many times you'll see players step on that equipment and go down. And you can really get hurt when you do that sort of thing, but not really much in the way of good punches materializing there, what with the close proximity of the two players.
Québec, Collège technique.
Mauvaise nouvelle pour les amateurs de boxe du Québec. Le combat tant attendu entre Éric Lucas et Davy Hilton Jr. le 16 juin prochain au Centre Moncton de Montréal a été annulé aujourd'hui parce que hier, Éric Lucas s'est fracturé un os de la main droite lors de son combat au Centre Moncton entre lui et Lennox John Lewis. Donc, combat annulé entre Hilton et Lucas le 16 juin prochain. Toutefois, les amateurs de Québec pourraient peut-être se rabattre sur un combat qui sera présenté ici dans la région le 9 juin prochain à l'aréna Marcel Bédard de Beauport. Un combat de 3 rondes entre nul autre que Mike Brault et Mario Roberge.
Il jette les gants pour le Grand Port-Neuf. Il a déjà acheté les gants pour le Canadien de Montréal et les Rafales de Québec. Mais le 9 juin prochain, Mario Roberge et Mike Brault ont décidé de mettre les gants et de s'affronter dans une arène de boxe.
Bien, j'aimerais ça avoir un encore parce que je sais que les spectateurs, c'est ça qu'ils admirent et que c'est toujours plus spectaculaire.
Si Mike Brault en sera un 3e combat de boxe, il s'agira d'une première pour Mario Roberge. Bague de la Coupe Stanley au doigt, il ne craint pas d'entacher sa crédibilité.
Ça veut dire quoi, c'est une crédibilité aujourd'hui? Moi, je pense que d'abord, je suis le seul joueur de hockey qui a joué 4 ans senior avant d'arriver dans la Ligue nationale. De peine et de misère. On ne parle pas de la porte d'en arrière, on parle de la porte du sous-sol. Donc, écoute, j'aime ça être différent.
Et Mario Roberge, de boxeur sans patin, jure qu'il s'agira d'une seule et unique expérience. Pas question d'en faire une seconde carrière.
Non, ça c'est définitif. Mario Roberge ne va pas une carrière de boxe une fois. Ça va être...
C'est un trip.
C'est un trip.
Ça va être une surprise. Ça va être un combat de l'année ici à Québec.
Le promoteur Régent Beaulieu est fier de son coup et croit faire salle comble le 9 juin au soir à Beauport.
On avait calculé qu'il rentre environ 2500 personnes à Marcel Bédard. On va remplir.
Centre Marcel Bédard, il doit rentrer à peu près 3000 personnes. Je serais déçu si ça ne serait pas plein.
Aucune bourse aux boxeurs, juste des commandites. Non, la caisse risque plutôt de sonner pour le promoteur. Stéphane Turcot, TQS, à Québec.
qu'on attend depuis longtemps. On en parle à Québec, à travers le Québec. Et c'est ce soir, dans les prochaines secondes, que vous allez assister à ce combat des guerriers. Tout d'abord, dans le coin rouge, du coin de Pont-Neuf, Pont-Rouge, il en est à son passé une belle soirée. Tout va très bien. Excellent. On a relevé le défi. Mike Rowe, notre gagnant ce soir. On va lui remettre sa médaille. On en a les maîtrises d'Ouni. Est-ce que vous venez proche? Alors, Tony de Radio Énergie qui va remettre la médaille à Mike. Marc-André de l'agence de production André Jacques, s'il vous plaît. Merci absolument à se faire remettre au lit. C'est pas qu'il t'aime pas, mais, c'est me dire. Alors, on a Jenny Bag qui arrive. On les applaudit, ils ont fait un excellent travail, mesdames et messieurs, ce soir. Ils ont aidé à passer une belle soirée. En tout cas, on voit, c'est agréable. Bravo, notre gagnant ce soir! Parfait, au premier rôle. OK. Avant de vous laisser, là, on a un scoop. Un scoop! Une grande nouvelle. Une grande nouvelle. Vous ne croyez pas à ça. C'est vrai. C'est fait. Céline est enceinte! Céline Dion est enceinte. Eh oui! Elle a tête tentée. Ça, on ne sait pas de qui. En tout cas, c'était congelé, ça fait tantôt. On vous remercie encore une fois de votre patience, mesdames et messieurs. Ça a été génial. Et on verra la suite. Mike Rowe, troisième combat, troisième victoire. Alors, ça promet, on verra dans l'avenir. Alors, bonne fin de soirée, soyez très prudents, s'il vous plaît, sur la route. Merci à Pro-Action. Merci également au Club Hockey. prochaines secondes que vous allez assister à ce combat des guerriers. Tout d'abord, dans le coin rouge, du coin de Pont-Neuf, Pont-Rouge, soirée. Notre combat, c'est agréable. Allez-vous notre gagnant ce soir? Marqueur au premier rôle. OK. Avant de vous laisser, là, on a un scoop. Un scoop! Une grande nouvelle. Une grande nouvelle. Vous ne croyez pas à ça. C'est vrai. C'est fait. C'est des enceintes! C'est des Dion est enceinte, eh oui! À la tête de ça, on ne sait pas de qui. En tout cas, c'était congelé, ça fait longtemps. On vous remercie encore une fois de votre patience, mesdames et messieurs. Vous avez été génial. Et on verra la suite. Mike Brault, troisième combat, troisième victoire.
Mike Brault, le tough du semi-pro, vedette du Grand Port-Neuf, des centaines de combats sur la glace et 2 dans un ring.
Il y en a qui pensent que c'est une comédie, ben c'est loin d'être une comédie.
Mario Roberge, le dur avec une bague de la Coupe Stanley, des centaines de combats sur la glace, mais une première avec des gants.
Je trouve que c'est moins dangereux que les combats de semi-pro.
2000 spectateurs qui ont attendu 4 heures remplies de trop longues intermissions et 8 combats plus ou moins convaincants. Mais là, ça y était. La première minute est partagée. Roberge se défend bien, Brault semble surpris. Mais à la deuxième minute, Mike l'a pas raté.
Je suis content, là, j'ai hâte d'aller prendre la bière et aller m'amuser avec mes chums, là. On s'est entraîné fort pour ce training-là. Puis je suis content que ça aille bien pour nous.
C'est vrai, coach. Et toute une.
Ça allait bien, mon affaire, mais à un moment donné, mais... Il avait été sonné vraiment... Ça n'a jamais arrivé sur la glace comme ça, non.
Un combat revanche?
Non, je pense pas. J'avais si on ferait rien qu'un, puis c'est assez.
C'est terminé pour Mario. Ça se poursuit la semaine prochaine à Chicoutimi pour Mike Brault. Et c'est le début d'une...
À la pizza. Et je suis en compagnie de Enrico Ciccone du Canadien de Montréal et Joël Bouchard des Stars de Dallas. Les gars, bonjour. Je suis très heureux que vous soyez ici. Et le but ici, c'est que Joël, explique-nous ça, pourquoi tu as besoin d'un cours d'un italien pour expliquer comment faire la pizza.
C'est ça, on est des couple d'amis. Moi, c'est vous, Yann Laperrière et puis 2 amis locaux. On est en train de négocier pour acheter une franchise de pizza au Québec et puis on va partir dans la région de Montréal. Mais la pizza, moi, j'en mange, mais je connais pas ça.
Un peu comme moi, là, j'en mange, mais je connais ça.
Ciccone, je pensais que tu pouvais m'expliquer, Enrico, un peu comment ça marche, là. La pizza, moi, je n'ai jamais faite. On est prêts à se partir ça, on a des bonnes idées. Je sais qu'on va t'inviter à la manger, peut-être même t'inviter à travailler si tu fais une bonne job, mais
moi, ça. Tu regardes aller, puis si ça marche pas, mais...
Là, Enrico est le professionnel, là. Hein? On va regarder vraiment comment la touche, il a, là, ça. Bon. Attends, ce qu'il fait, comment c'est, ça se passe comment un peu, là, l'espèce de tirage de pâte?
Mais ça marche pas, ça. Là. Ça marche pas, ça. On le sait, là.
Moi, j'aime ça, moi, des gars de main de hockey, vous êtes drôles, hein?
Là, tu prends ta pâte, là. Tu commences à y faire le tour, OK? Ben important. OK, tu remets un petit peu dans la farine en four.
Mettre un peu de farine pour que ça adhère, ça glisse pas. Hein? Et là, ensuite, explique un peu, là, en même temps, pour les gens à la maison, pour qu'ils prennent des notes.
OK. Là, ça prend du... Ça fait quand même du toucher, là. Pour l'agrandir. OK. Pour l'agrandir un peu.
Avec les jointures enflées comme ça, ça doit aider un peu à faire tourner.
Ça marche, ça va bien. OK. Maintenant qu'elle est prête, on met sa plaque.
Et ensuite, c'est l'étape un peu de la sauce, hein?
Là, le pepperoni?
Le pepperoni, t'en mets.
OK.
C'est ça, t'en mets du pepperoni, là.
Là, c'est couvrir au complet.
T'en mets pas un
pizza,
partout, là. T'en mets du pepperoni.
Nous autres, on en met du pepperoni, là. Mais là, Nico,
champignons.
Je sais que t'as 5 Canadiens, mais si ça te tente, là, je trouve que tu connais ça pas mal. Fait qu'on va être... on commence ça comme livreur, puis...
Là, ce qui est important à la maison, écoutez-moi bien aussi. Pizzeria, là, l'économie que tu fais de fromage, là, ça marche pas.
OK.
Tu fais du fromage, là, t'en mets du fromage. Comprends-tu?
Commence à comprendre un peu, là.
Comprends-tu, là? Toi, poids lourd, t'as dû en manger du fromage.
Ben, je veux dire, quelquefois, un peu, je demande extra fromage, mais moi, j'adore. Je peux dire que j'aime bien le fromage.
Fait que là, ensuite,
c'est...
je vais laisser...
Oh! C'est dans le four avec un hockey de gardien de but, hein, vraiment, vous autres, les joueurs de hockey, vous êtes impressionnés tout le temps, là. Après 4 minutes, mais là, ça fait plus que 4 minutes, ça serait peut-être le temps de sortir.
Ben là,
alors, Joël. Et ça.
C'est ça.
Oh! Et là, ici, si on peut voir, il y a un peu de cendre ici, là, la cendre de là-bas, là. Là, ça, on mange pas ça, hein. On tasse un peu la cendre ici, puis le reste, ben, tu coupes ça, c'est ça?
Bon, ben là, c'est le temps de goûter, mon Paolo.
Bon, ben, je suis pas sûr du concept encore. J'en parlais à Yann Sakou, là, mais essaye-nous ça.
Non, mais en tout cas, je vous souhaite bonne chance dans votre entreprise de pizza,
Ben,
parce
merci
que
beaucoup.
pendant que je la goûte, hein. Et carrément bon. Et félicitations de Nico Ticoni, Canadien de Montréal. Et Joël Bouchard. Merci. Bonne chance avec Sakou, Yann Lapérière pour toutes les pizzas d'affaires. Et c'était la recette de pizza. Paulo et la gang des joueurs de hockey.
C'est déjà tout pour l'émission. Prochain hors-jeu dimanche 27 août 19h. Édition spéciale tennis féminin à Montréal. D'ici là, bonne fête.